Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. All of a sudden, Call of Duty is alive again. There is all sorts of stuff that's suddenly happened in the last few days. I just yesterday announced my new Call of Duty League partnership, which is going to be running all year. I'm going to be co-streaming a match tomorrow. I'm really excited. It's just so cool. Such a cool thing to have achieved with my channel. Like, I'm just so chuffed, man. So thank you guys for supporting me and making that happen. There's an Outbreak Easter egg main quest that has now been announced to be coming out next week. We knew it would be coming for a while, but now we've got a date for it, which is super exciting. And also, today, we've just received a new blog post from the Treyarch team that's enormous. It's got so much news in it, so much new info that we're going to be covering today. I'm going to leave timestamps in the description of this video, basically breaking down all the things that we're going to be talking about because there's just so much of it, and I think that will probably make your guys' lives a bit easier. So if you like seeing that sort of thing on my channel, then drop a thumbs up. That'll be amazing. Without further ado, though, let's get into this. Outbreak is getting 2 main quests. How has this happened? It's just not possible. What's going on? I'm losing my mind. Chill out, numbnuts. It's real. It's happening. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War wasn't going to have an Outbreak mode originally. And then over a year ago, they started work on it. They started building out all these systems. And then when they launched it, they saw that it had more players for Outbreak launch than Cold War Zombies launch had. And when a studio sees something like that happen, they get to work. They see the opportunity in front of them and they seize it. And that's exactly what has happened here. They have doubled down on Outbreak in a really big way since the success of its launch. And the player base now for Outbreak is the same size as the player base for round-based maps, which means that there is a massive appetite for this in the long run. Not only as a one-off thing, people are continuously going back to it. And so in the blog post, they basically specify that the launches of things won't always coincide with the very beginning of the season. And we know that they've confirmed that the new round-based map will be in a season 4 at some point, but I think they want to kind of set our expectations that it won't necessarily be day 1, which I think is fine. If there's going to be another Outbreak main quest, I'm not complaining. Like, that sounds totally fine to me. And so probably the rhythm of things is going to be Outbreak main quest with this mid-season update for season 3. Then at the end of this season, start of next season, another main quest. And then at the mid-season of season 4, probably, or something like that, we get the next round-based map. Not only are we getting a main quest next week, though, with the mid-season update for Cold War, we're also getting fishing in Outbreak. Fishing? Yeah, I don't know either. There's also going to be a new Order Encounter world event, which is coming, which sounds so damn exciting, man. Like, can you just imagine stepping into an Outbreak map? You're on like round 10. Things have been going pretty well. You've got a pretty good run under your belt so far, but it's been getting a little tricky. And then as you're moving through the map, you just see this ginormous monster stomping its way across the world. That's going to be incredible. Like, I cannot wait to see that happen. The fact that there are large-scale bosses like that in the game now that they can just slot in is so cool to me. And it kind of makes me wonder, like, what's the next Order? Like, if we saw the Order in DLC 1, is there going to be an even bigger version in DLC 4, DLC 3? Like, are we going to see something like that? Fingers crossed. There's also a new LTM coming. Cranked 2, No Time to Crank, which is a pretty corny name, but I'll allow it because it's a new mode. I'm excited about LTMs. They haven't been the most exciting thing so far, don't get me wrong, but the fact that they're playing with these ideas is a good thing for the health of the mode in the long run. They're going to start to figure out what works and what doesn't, what people end up playing more and what they don't play, and basically making more of the stuff that we actually want. So the fact that they're keeping experimenting here is a good sign, so thumbs up Treyarch. I hope this one is more exciting than original Cranked. I hope that we're going to be able to do the Easter egg in this one. That's a really key feature that was missing before. We need to try and be able to do those Easter eggs while Cranked is running. That would be phenomenal. Fingers crossed Treyarch really deliver there. New stuff's coming to the mystery box as well. Wakizashi, E-Tool, Machete, Shadowhunter, LC10, Farah, Street Sweeper, Mac-10, all of those guns are going to be in the mystery box, which is great news. And custom mod support is coming, like I promised you guys a couple of months ago now, it feels like. I made a video saying they've basically added the ability to apply blueprint in-game, but this is only the beginning of this feature. It's going to expand to allow you to apply custom blueprints as well, and that's exactly what is happening. You'll be able to create multiple configurations for every weapon in the game, and then apply those custom mods to the weapons you find in a game session, and thus basically apply those blueprints to anything that you pick up in the world. It's great news. There are also some quality of life changes happening that are really interesting. They're adding free cursor support and the ability for you to ping the overhead map so that you can navigate with your team better. This isn't something that I realized I wanted, but I think it will actually be really useful, so Props Treyarch. That sounds like it's going to be really good. They're also changing weapon balance on a load of different weapons. So there's zombies specific tuning that's going to be happening, and they're going to be mainly buffing stuff. So usually it'll be in the form of increased critical damage multipliers, which is really interesting because right now things sort of 2x as you pack a punch and stuff like that. But maybe that's just going to completely change now, and they're going to really ramp up the kind of power curve. And a couple of things are going to have their power ceilings adjusted to ensure that every single weapon is viable, which is great news because right now there are certain guns in the game that just suck. And obviously everyone's been using the Hauer because of that. So having some more variety available will be really exciting, especially if it primarily comes in the form of buffs and not nerfs. They're going to be looking at different pack variances, stock ammo, mag size, damage, all those things. So that's the sort of stuff that you can expect to potentially change with the patch next week. I'll, of course, be doing very in-depth content on that. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on all my news videos covering that content, showing you guys what the new best weapons are, overpowered loadouts, the whole shebang. Right here on the channel, baby. Let's get it. Also, something I've been saying in so many goddamn videos, and they've actually listened and it brings a tear to my eye, is that there's going to be a challenge tracker on the pause screen so you can look at whatever daily challenges or whatever you're working on and actually see your progress. No brainer, right? How is this not in at launch? I guess it must be some kind of technical limitation. It's probably a more difficult game dev thing than I realized, but it's coming, which is such good news. It doesn't say when it's going to come out, so I wouldn't expect this next week, but they are working on it. It's on their radar. It's a feature in development, and that sounds great to me. On top of all those things I've already said, Treyarch have said that that's not it, of course. Like, they're working on a map for Season 4, Outbreak main quests, all that stuff, some nerfs, some changes, some buffs, etc. But in the future, at an undisclosed date as of right now, we can expect new perks, wonder weapons, support weapons, limited time modes, and plenty more Dark Ether story intel. So they're not just stopping here. We've all kind of known for a while that there are a certain number of perks that are going to be releasing through the season because of the fact that the Wonder Fizz machine shows them, and they may or may not have had their jingles leaked in-game pretty much before launch. So that's kind of no surprise. And also the fact that there's wonder weapons coming in the future is like, well, duh. I mean, there'd better be, or like, I'm going to be very sad. So it's kind of telling us what we already know. But what this is it's Treyarch being transparent. And I want to really stress this here, okay? The fact that this blog post exists in the way that it does is actually so good for the health of the studio, the game, the community, etc. Because I think all of us can agree, no matter whether you're the most obsessed Zombies fan or you're a fan a few years ago and you haven't even touched Cold War, all of us can probably agree that in terms of what their content roadmap has looked like this year, there have been points of frenzied activity where lots is going on, like Outbreak launch and the release of Firebase Z, and obviously the release of the main game, but there have also been pockets where basically nothing has happened. The patch notes for a given week from Treyarch will literally get to the zombies section, it will be empty, and it will skip right away to that week's featured playlists. Like, there is nothing happening in zombies. And this, I think, is the intention this year in many ways for Treyarch, because they don't want to be focusing on zombies literally every day, trying to pump out a new patch just to keep people kind of super jazzed about it completely permanently. But instead, they want there to be really exciting moments and then things to cool off, and then it's exciting again, etc. The roller coaster will go up and it will go down. But those down periods will be much more engaging, despite the fact that there's no content, and satisfying as a fan if Treyarch continues to give us information like they're giving us in this blog post, saying, guys, don't worry, not only are we giving you content next week, but we've also got plans for next month, in 2 months' time. Like, they are looking at things from not only the perspective of how do we market this immediate release, but also how do we keep people invested in zombies and honor their fandom, right? Like, really pay attention to the fact that these people are engaged in your game. They're really spending a lot of time in it, and they want reasons to keep playing it, and those people are worth keeping around. And one of the best ways to keep them around if you don't have content is to at least continue the conversation with them. And I think this blog post does that really well. So Treyarch gets a double thumbs up from me on that one. I'm really happy to see this, and I'm going to be really excited, obviously, to play the new Outbreak main quest, and then the next Outbreak main quest, and then the new round-based map. But weirdly, I'm kind of also equally excited for them to try and kind of keep us all engaged in their own new way as we go through some of those slow periods, those sort of down patches, stuff like that. Treyarch, Don't let me down here. This post was great. Keep the info coming. Let's keep the conversation going. Now, if you guys disagree with anything I've said in the video, then please do let me know with a comment. And also, if you've got anything specific from this blog post that you think deserves its own individual video, or when it comes out, you want to see some real focus on, then please do let me know. I am at your command right now, guys. If there's a certain guide that you need, if there's a certain top 5 that you want to see with weapons or perks or whatever it might be, hit me up. Let me know. Drop a comment and get that feedback to me. Twitter's a great way to do it as well, and that way I can work on the content that you guys actually want to see. So I'm excited about all this. It's been a pretty slow period the last few weeks, but that's going to change, certainly in the near term, which is great news. And on that note, I've been MrRoflWaffles. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. If you have, then leave a like. If you haven't, let me know in the comment section down below, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.